We continue to follow the very latest on the shooting of 2 Phoenix police officers.
Both of them in the hospital this afternoon, one of them fighting for his life. Fox 10's Steve Nielsen joining us live from where all of this took place yesterday. This scene, 16th Street and McDowell. Steve, any updates on the officers' conditions?
No updates on the officers' conditions as of this moment right now. Of course, we're constantly checking in with authorities on that. The update that we do have is much more on the suspect. As I take a step aside, this is the parking lot. This is the scene here that we have been covering all night and now all morning. It has now cleared at this point. The crime scene tape has been removed. The officers here, the investigators, the detectives, they have now left this scene as the focus switches to the hospital now and the condition of those officers. Let's take a step back, though, talk about how we got to this moment. Officers responded to someone allegedly breaking into cars in the neighborhood here, 16th Street and McDowell. When officers arrived, they say they found a man, 41-year-old Saul Bal, and they say he ran, eventually turning around and shooting at the officers, hitting both. One of them is in stable condition. The chief credits that to the ballistics vest. The other is in critical condition, fighting for their life. There will be no shortage of surveillance video of what happened here. There are many businesses here with cameras. Some of those business owners tell me that those cameras captured what took place here. There's also body camera video as well. In court today, we learned that it clearly shows that body camera video, Saul Bal as the shooter, according to police. He has a lengthy criminal history, including violence against officers before, according to the judge. As his bond was being set, he spoke in the arraignment, despite the judge reminding him he has the right to remain silent.
They're saying that I shot at him or something like that. I didn't have a gun.
Okay, so Mr. Bal, certainly I will remind you that you do have the right to remain silent about what you've been accused of.
Now, we've also learned that, according to the Arizona Department of Corrections, that he was out on parole when all of this happened for an unrelated incident. That parole was expected to expire today. His bond now is set at $2 million cash.
All right, Steve, thank you so much. Steve will have more information on later editions of Fox 10 News. In the meantime, let's talk about those 2 officers. As Steve said, no updates as of right now. The last information we received was that both those officers in the hospital at Banner Good Sam.
And certainly we hope to report only good news. But right now we have Fox 10's Irene Snyder joining us live with a response so far that we are getting from the law enforcement community. Irene, you are at the hospital. Have you been able to hear anything? Obviously, we're all holding out for hope here in this case.
Well, yeah, guys, absolutely. So we're across the street from the hospital right now, the Banner University Medical Center. We have not gotten any word from police as far as an update on either of those officers, other than what you already mentioned, the fact that one is stable, the other still remains in critical condition. But one thing I do want to point out here right now, that they're really, the community is really going around them to try and help and support them right now. So as you mentioned, Steve went into the details about exactly what led up to this shooting here. But I was talking to some people out here, some community members, who really said they're banding together to help support the police community. This is the 11th officer-involved shooting, or rather the 11th time that an officer has been shot here in the Phoenix community. So we were talking to some people out here, including one reverend, who said he's a former Phoenix police officer himself. He was telling us that it's really heartbreaking every time any one of these incidents happens. Another woman out here as well telling us that she was tying ribbons, and we'll show you in a minute some of those ribbons that they were tying, blue ribbons around the poles here just surrounding the hospital. And again, they said it was just heartbreaking to see any time one of these happens, and especially now that we know that one of those officers is in critical condition. You can take a listen what they had to say in their response to the shooting.
We're here for you. We are praying for you and your families and your police family, and just know we're out here if anything is needed. We're ready to help.
We support our officers, and there's a groundswell of emotion and anger at this incident, and we want to let the rank and file officers know that we support their efforts to preserve law and order in our community.
And according to the Phoenix police chief, this is the 11th time that an officer has been shot here in the Phoenix community this year. And take a look there right now. We're zooming in to just see how they support the Phoenix Police Department here, the blue ribbons that are tied here around the hospital and also around here in the community, just really trying to support those officers, the one again in stable condition and the other one in critical condition. And we were even talking to the Phoenix police chief earlier. He was saying that he was in touch with the one officer who was in stable condition, and that officer really is traumatized by what happened to their partner. So we're again hoping to get more information about exactly the conditions of those officers. What we do know is stable condition for the one officer and critical condition for the other one. We'll be following this throughout the day and bringing you the latest as we get more information about those officers' conditions. But definitely heartbreaking and really sad to hear, traumatizing for the other officer involved.
We begin with the Fox 10 News alert, and we're sad to report this afternoon that one of the two Phoenix police officers shot on Tuesday in the line of duty died just a few hours ago.
Phoenix police telling us Officer Zane Coolidge passed away a short time ago, and Fox 10's Brian Webb is live tonight with more information about the officers that were shot.
Guys, we just saw that end of watch tweet from the Phoenix Police Department maybe 20 minutes ago that Officer Zane Coolidge had died from his injuries. Right about the same time, we saw a handful of motorcycle officers drive up to the back of the hospital here at Banner University, followed by a few police SUVs. Let me show you a picture of Officer Zane Coolidge again and the other officer he was with that night, Matthew Haney. Coolidge was a 5-year veteran of the Phoenix Police Department. Officer Haney, a 2-year vet. Haney was released from the hospital over the past 24 hours. The men were shot on Tuesday, a few blocks from where I'm standing near 15th Street in McDowell. They were responding to reports of someone breaking into cars. They found the suspect, chased the suspect. 41-year-old Saul Bal is accused of shooting them. He remains behind bars on a $2 million bond. We've been hearing mixed messages about Coolidge all day long, really. Critical but stable condition, hopeful but also praying for a miracle. Then again, that end of watch tweet coming out just a few moments ago. There was a fundraiser set up for Officer Coolidge. It was set up for Tuesday. I haven't heard yet what will happen, if anything, to that. You can also donate online. We have those links on our website at fox10phoenix.com. Another update coming up tonight at 6. For now, live in Phoenix, Brian Webb, Fox 10 News.
That is tough news this afternoon.
Yeah, devastating. We're thinking of the family tonight. We're learning more tonight about the suspect, Saul Bal's extensive criminal history.
Fox 10 investigator Justin Lund has been diving into the records and find that his records date back to 2008, spanning several counties.
You're looking at 3 different mugshots for 41-year-old Saul Bal, the most recent from the arrest in the shooting of 2 Phoenix police officers. Here's one from Arizona's Department of Corrections, and here's another booking photo for an arrest before he was taken to New Mexico's Corrections Department, all related to various crimes. During his initial appearance, Saul Bal held his face in his hands. Now he's in Maricopa County Jail on a $2 million cash bond, facing 2 counts of second-degree attempted murder and 1 count of third-degree burglary.
Your criminal history, which does indeed appear to be extensive and involve at least 2 prior allegations of violence against police officers.
The judge said Bal's criminal history has ties to California, but that's not all.
He is on parole from the Arizona Department of Corrections and a prohibited possessor.
Bal did prison time for charges of attempted burglary, unlawful use of means of transportation, disorderly conduct, and multiple drug crimes.
His propensity for violence and the risk of harm he poses to the folks in our community.
And the crimes Bal committed happened in Navajo, Yuma, and Pinal counties. Fox 10 has learned Bal did serve some time within the New Mexico Corrections Department after being arrested in Riverside, California in November of 2023 on warrants that included being a fugitive out of state. He was released in February of this year. Bal is now accused in the shooting of 2 Phoenix officers after allegedly breaking into a car last night near 16th Street in McDowell. Important to note, the probable cause documents in this case have been sealed as the investigation is ongoing, and the body camera footage has a protective order on it, as prosecutors say the video is very graphic. Bal's next court date is on September 10th. I'm Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum.
Also new this morning, the suspect in the Georgia school shooting has now made his first appearance in court.
The 14-year-old appearing in person and not virtually like first believed. We have video for you this morning. Take a look.
Good morning, sir. Are you Mr. Colt Gray? Sir. My name's Curry Mingledorf. I'm assigned to preside over this morning's proceedings. Mr. Gray, I do need...
So you hear the judge there in the courtroom speaking to Colt Gray, the blonde-haired boy that you see there nodding his head. His attorney declined to seek bail during the hearing, lasted just a few minutes. This means Gray will stay behind bars.
Now to our top story tonight. Phoenix police are searching for a man who they say pulled the trigger in a deadly shooting this morning. Police say it all started around 8 o'clock when 2 construction workers were shot after an argument. Fox 10's Nicole Christine is live where it happened. And Nicole, what can you tell us about the victims?
Well, good evening, Ashley. Just such a sad scene out here as crews leave. And Alan Whitworth, the deceased, is believed to be a business owner, a small business owner of an electrical company based on his social media posts, but there isn't a ton known about him yet. And the 19-year-old has not been named yet, but we did speak to police about an hour ago. They said that he is just trying to pull through at the hospital right now, really fighting for his life. As for the suspect, they are still out there, and police are looking for any witnesses who might be able to provide any information that could lead to an arrest.
We heard helicopters at about 8:15.
Residents who live near East Thomas Road and 39th Street saw their neighborhood turn into a crime scene Sunday morning after 2 men were shot while working a construction job.
It really is a nice neighborhood, and it's just so close to home, and it's sad.
One man, identified by police as 48-year-old Alan Whitworth, was pronounced dead on scene. An unnamed 19-year-old male is in critical condition at the hospital.
We do not believe they knew each other. The 2 victims in this case were just working. They were, from my understanding, as they were fixing a fence on a property there. They were hired to do this when an altercation occurred with this suspect. A verbal argument ensued, and then the suspect returned. A second verbal argument ensued, and that is when he shot and nearly killed 2 of them.
Police asking the public for any photos, videos, or other evidence to help find the suspect, who at this time has not been identified.
There was a lot of witnesses that were talked to. We believe that there's still witnesses out there who may have fled in fear or are afraid to come forward. That's what we're reaching out to.
Neighbors thinking of the victims' loved ones while the suspect remains out there.
I hope that they find this person for the family of the people involved.
And Phoenix police saying at this time there is not believed to be a safety threat to the general public. Again, if you have any information, photos, videos, if you were in this area earlier this morning, you are asked to call Silent Witness at 480-WITNESS. Reporting live tonight in Phoenix, Nicole Christine, Fox 10 News.